Hello, and welcome back to another video. Today, I'm doing a tutorial on Rimworld. Why? Because I'm trying to get my dad to play the game, and I don't want him to have to mess around for like 25 hours to figure out how to plant rice. So, first things first, you want to go to New Colony. Now, select Crash Landed. You can really select whatever you want. I recommend Crash Landed because it's honestly, it's the easiest. So, then I'd recommend playing Cassandra Classic, Adventure Story, reload anytime. If you want to go easier or harder, you can do whatever you want, I don't care. And now we have our Create World screen. Now we can edit all of these things, edit these, and you'll see that for our seed we got Terrorist, which is just fun. So, I'm not going to edit any of these. We're just going to press generate. So, now you'll see that we have our world. Pressing down on the scroll wheel allows us to move around. You'll see that we have this all of these worlds will be unique. There will never be like two worlds that are alike unless you use the same seed and settings. So, this is what our world looks like, and for your first time playing the game, I recommend trying to find somewhere to live around the equator that has friendly factions nearby. So, for example, you see these purple houses? These are factions that you want to be close to. These spiky mountain things, you don't want to be near. You don't want to be near any pirates, which are skull and crossbones. And, you don't want to be near any of the, green teepees. The blue, little triangle things are alright. And the purple houses are alright. So that's where you want to kind of... just glitched out there for a second. What is it doing? So you want to be near those guys. Sadly, we don't really have a great spot to go with if we want to be near the equator. But when you found an area that you think you might want to settle in, select that area, then go to Terrain. And it'll open up this tab that will tell you what biome it is and about this biome. So, we'll see that the terrain here is large hills. It has a 2.5 movement difficulty, which means when you're in a caravan, it will be harder to move across this. Here are our stone types. We have granite, marble, and limestone. Our elevation is 763 meters above sea level. I honestly don't know what that affects, but it's there. Our average temperature is 52.3 Fahrenheit, and this is the growing period. You want to see the growing period, and the forageability, as well as animals being able to graze. I recommend finding a spot that has a year-round growing period, which will be somewhere near the equator. So as you can see, now we have a year-round growing season around down here. So, you want to find a nice spot. Right here looks like a good area to start our first colony. So, we have our year-round growing season. And we will start on this flat, ancient asphalt road. Now, you want to click Next. Now it'll bring you into this window. This is where you get to select the colonists that will be brought along with you for your little journey, essentially. So, you get 3 colonists that you can bring, and you can randomize them. And here are some of the colonists that you get to choose from. This guy's pretty good. I'm choosing him. But this person has good intellectual, good medical, good animals, and good plants, but they don't have good anything else. So I think I might get them. This guy has good crafting, good animals, good mining, and okay intellectual. Though he does have a passion in intellectual and burning passions in both crafting and mining, as well as a passion in animals. So that's a good thing. Though, over here, we see that he has a prosthetic leg. That shouldn't affect us that much. That should be okay. That's acceptable. Then we have this guy. So far, none of our colonists have actually really been able to have combat, which is annoying. So I'm gonna end up having to re-roll someone to try and get somebody who has... This is actually very good. Bad back, that's acceptable. So, we have... This person is good at melee and shooting, and animals, as well as cooking, and all these other stuff. They're a very good character. Other than the fact that they will not use shooting. But that's acceptable. We can do that. So we have this guy. He's gonna be our main builder. And this guy is just gonna be our person. Yeah. So, we have team skills, 9 shooting, 15 melee, 8 construction, 10 mining, 9 cooking, 5 plants, 4 medical, and 7 intellectual. That's pretty good. Now we're going to click start. Once you start, you'll get this little thing. You honestly don't really have to read this. And then you'll see that these people land down. Now, over here, we want to wait for them to all get out and then pause the game. Now, you want to double click on all the items that fell out of the pods and click allow so they will be able to pick them up. So I'm gonna just do that real quick. Now, we've allowed them to pick up all of the things that they fell down and started with. Now, we can resume normal time. But, before we get off to too soon of a start, you'll see that we already have some alerts. These are telling me that we need to essentially build a base. So, we want to pause the game again and go to orders. Then we want to pick chop wood and select a large area of trees. Preferably with at least 60 trees for your starting area. Then, we want to plan out a base. First things first, you want to get some sort of sleeping area. It's generally a good idea to have them have different bedrooms, though if you're not able to, or you're playing a harder difficulty, you can always sacrifice them having different bedrooms and just put them in one main barracks building. So, as you can see, okay, I kind of jumped into it, didn't I? So, I should go over this. So, you'll see these tabs at the bottom. If we go over to Architect, we'll be able to select this, and then select, you'll see in Orders, that's how I selected Chop Wood, and then you go into Structures, which is how you select walls and doors and all that stuff. So, for your first room, I'd say 5 down, then make a room like this. Cancel that, and repeat this room 3 times. So, then place doors in the doorways, select flooring, drag this flooring out to fill in all of these areas, select furniture, select beds, click wooden bed, place 1 bed in each of here, 1 plant pot at the end of each bed. Then, we want to add, I'd say, a dresser right next to each bed. Then, a light. Now, we don't have power yet, but we'll get to that later. Then we have to build our storage building. Then we want to fill this storage building in with flooring. And then over here, we want to select zone. Click stockpile zone. Fill this in. Click it 3 times. Click storage and disable food. Though go to meals and enable packaged survival meals, because those never spoil. Now that we've done that, we'll make sure that they don't place food which may rot in this area. After that, we want to plan out some sort of... Well, I'd say we want to get power first. So, I'd say on this building, take some walls, place 2 here, place 2 here, go to power, select a wood fire generator, and click this down here. Now, select power conduit, and drag this through your structure like this. That should provide power to most areas of your building. So, now that you've completed these steps, you can unpause your game, and soon your colonists should get to work. And this one is barfing. If you want to, which I'd recommend doing this, speed up time with this button over here. You'll see that our colonists are starting to get to work on building their base. Just so you know, them building the base, it might take a while. Sorry for that awkward silence, I didn't really have anything to say. So for your first day, you're probably only going to get a small part of your base complete, which is okay, because you can't expect to finish everything within the first day. Now, as you may have noticed, I'm just going to talk about this right now while they're building their base. You may have noticed that we have started out with some food. This food will not last us forever, so we need to find our own food source. You'll see that, well, there are some berry bushes to forage if we look hard enough, like over here, and over here. That will not be enough to sustain our colony's population indefinitely. So, we'll want to go to Architect, Zone, and then click Growing Zone. Drag out actually, I'm gonna put it a decent space away. Drag out your growing zone, I'd say give it about 91 spaces, and then click here, and click Rice. Once the colonists have finished building their base, they should start growing some crops here. You don't really have to put it in a fence, but if you want to, you may. Now, our colonists are starting to settle in, but life here is pretty boring. So, we'll want to go back to Architect, go to Recreation, and find something that we can build to help them pass in free time. We're going to build some horseshoes right here, and maybe a chess table later. Alright. You'll see that since our colonists haven't done anything recreational in a while, they're excited to have something to do. Now, connected to our main storage area, once we have wood available to us again, we will want to build a building right next to it. Right here. Oh, they switched to steel. Whatever. Actually, don't use a wooden door. Then place a door right there, and go to temperature. Now in this temperature tab, we want to place down a cooler, because we will be turning this room into a refrigerator. So, we'll place it with the cool side, as you can see, the cool side facing in, and the hot side facing outwards. We'll want to add some flooring to our room, because naturally we don't want the floor being super duper dirty or just flat ground, because then our food might get infected. Now look at our colonists. They're sleeping. Their little rooms may not be completely built, but they're feeling content. Now, we want to figure out how to select different colonists. So, let's slow down time a bit. Let's say that we want this colonist to do a certain task, like chop this tree. Well, we will click on this colonist, right-click on the tree, but over here it says that we can't prioritize this, because they are not assigned to it. This is a perfect segue into work. Here is where you can assign work to different pawns. So, for example, if we wanted more people to do construction, we could select this. If there's a red outline, that means that they're not good at that skill. There. So, now, if we want Zach, for example, if we want him to stop cloud watching and start building, like a good colonist, then we'll right-click on the cooler and prioritize constructing. As you can see, nearly right away, he'll start working on the cooler. Now, over here, you'll see some tabs. This is Zach. So, if we go into his social, we'll see his relationships with other colonists, and what he's done recently. If we go to gear, we can see what he's currently holding, and what he's currently wearing. If you go to log, this just shows everything that he's done recently, kind of like in social. If we go to bio, these are his skills, this is his childhood and adulthood traits, and his normal traits. This is also his faction. Then we go to needs. So far, he has low expectations. He's happy doing what he's currently doing. He's optimistic and quite comfortable. But he is also feeling kind of sad because he ate without a table and he slept in the cold. We can always watch these to know what to fix or what to add to a colony to make our colonists more comfortable. Then we go to health. These show his health conditions. As we can see, he's doing well, except for his moving, which is weakened by the scratch on his left leg. We go to operations. We can select different things, different medical operations that we can do to him. We will not be doing any of these currently. These are our food restrictions. I recommend just leaving them at lavish. It's simpler then. Self-tend. No. Also, if you want a character to fight, you can click draft. When we get our first raid, I'll get into that. I don't really have much to say here. Yeah. Oh, if you want to check there are some different tools down here that you can see. This one allows you to see the temperature of ambient areas, which is honestly pretty handy. And it will show right here what we have selected. Now, it says that we have a visitor. This person is passing through, but it seems that he may also have items to trade. So, we should go into our characters, look into bio, and find the character with the highest social skill. So far, that is Lumi. Then, right-click on him and press Trade. Press Continue. Then, we'll talk to him. Oh, that's not very good. Then, we can talk to him and sell him different things. We won't be doing this because there isn't much that he has that we want, but this is a good tutorial for what should come later. So we can always just press cancel. He'll hang around for a bit, but eventually he'll leave on his own terms. Look at them. They're all cozy. I think we've built a good home for them. Now, if you've gotten this far into the video, I just want to say thank you. Most of my viewers stop watching past around 2 minutes, and it means a lot to me to know that people find my videos helpful or useful. So please like and subscribe, leave a comment down below. It pleases the algorithm. If there's anything that you want to see in future videos or any suggestions that you have or just anything of the sort, comment down below. Do all that stuff. Appease the algorithm. Make me happy. All that stuff. So, back to Rimworld. Now, if you've been wondering why there's just a cat wandering around with a name, that's because this cat belongs to our colony. I'll get to that later. So, you may realize that we don't have a kitchen. So, before we have our first harvest, we want to have a kitchen so we can actually prepare the food. So, we'll make a small room right here. Place down some wooden flooring. And in here, let's add a wooden flooring path. Now, in here, we'll go to production. Click on electric stove, place that down, then click on butcher table and place that down. Then you want to go to furniture, select dining chair, rotate them around with Q or E, and then place them facing the workstations. Make sure to add a light. And if you want, plant pot. Plant pots are beautiful to the colonists. They add beauty to spaces, so putting plant pots in rooms will make any colonist in that room or that enters that room happier. It's always a good idea to add plant pots. Now, you've noticed earlier that I mentioned that colonists get sad if they've eaten without a table. Because of that, we're going to be making a small dining room. Oops. Now, You don't have to copy your base completely after what I'm doing. I'd actually recommend that you do and explore different possibilities. And here we go. This is our first actual issue. A mad guinea pig. Then we want to click that and press jump to location. This guinea pig will attack anybody it sees. Why? No clue. So, Zach. Actually, Lumi, you're the hunter. Go and equip that knife. And you, draft, and move over here. When you draft a character, you can right-click and tell them where to go. Now that Lumi has this knife, we want to draft them, click the knife, and then click the guinea pig. We want Daisuke? I don't know how to pronounce that. If I'm butchering this, I am sorry. So, then we want to continue, and geez, that guinea pig is fast. The guinea pig is fighting our cat. We can't have this. We must kill the guinea pig. Then, we want to draft and tend to the cat. We don't want our cat dying. Oh no, it lost an eye. Well, we can still fix the bleeding. It will survive. The cat will not bleed out. Now, we want to undraft both people. Now, in the kitchen, we want to click this, click bills, add bill, butcher creature, do forever. Now, you'll notice that we're out of steel. So, since we're out of steel, we want to find some compacted steel, like over here. Press orders, press mine, and then select this area. Now, this video is already longer than it honestly should be. We've explained the basics of how to start our colony. And briefly, bills. Adding bills on production areas, essentially they tell your colonists to do things. That's most of what I have to say. Now, this video is already a bit too long, so I'm going to be cutting it off here. I'm going to be making a part 2 on the same colony, don't worry. So you want to click down here, press save, tutorial. Save. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you had a great day, and goodbye.